Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches a todos y a todas. This is Richmond Rising Meeting, Collaborative Stakeholder Committee meeting today, December the 3rd, 2025. We have interpreter in the back. Letty, our coworker, is in the back. If you need interpretation, whether it is from English to Spanish or Spanish to English, please grab a headphone and you will be able to hear the meeting in a different language. Para las personas que nos acompañan que hablan español, en la parte de atrás está Letty, nuestra colaboradora. Ella tiene los audífonos para ustedes si necesitan interpretación, ya sea de inglés a español o de español a inglés. Ella les puede dar un audífono y con ese van a poder escuchar la reunión en cualquier idioma que necesiten. For people who are joining us today that did not bring their kids, just reminding you that we have childcare available for you to bring your kids to the meeting if you wish to do so. Para las personas que nos acompañan, solo un recordatorio que tenemos disponibilidad para cuidado de niños en el Nevin Community Center para estas reuniones. Así que si en una siguiente reunión quieren traer a sus hijos, son bienvenidos. I'm going to start with the roll call. Project lead for Grid Alternatives, he told us that he was going to be absent today, so I'm going to continue project lead for Groundwork Richmond. Also, Lorena told us that she was going to be absent due to sickness. She's going to be joining the meeting online. Lorena, if you're there, please let us know. We're happy to have you in the meeting, even if it's remotely. Project lead for Rich City Rights. I saw Gabby just a second ago. Well, we'll wait for her to come back. Project lead for Rich City Rights. Thank you. No, it's fine. Thank you. Project lead for Trust for Public Land. Here. Thank you. Project lead for UC Berkeley. Thanks, Jason. Project lead for Urban Tilth. Thank you, Chinue. Community member Tomasa Espinosa. We'll record that she's not present today. Community member Juana Hernandez. Gracias, Juana. Community member Montserrat Gonzalez. Hi, Monse. Thank you. Community member Judith Rocha. Thank you, Judith. Community member Curtis Rice. Thank you, Curtis. Community member Jim Becker. Thanks, Jim. Youth fellow Leslie Poblano. Youth fellow Judah Gan. Thank you, Judah. Youth fellow Miki Mesui. Youth fellow Yadira Quintanilla. Okay. As you can probably realize, we do not have a quorum today, but today's meeting is not going to have any decision making. So we're only presenting on the status update from all the projects. So we most likely would not have we will not have a quorum. For the people who are joining us for the first time, this meeting happens every first Wednesday of the month from 6 to 8 p.m. And you can attend in person at Nevin Community Center, 598 Nevin Avenue, Richmond, California, 94010. You can also attend virtually through our Zoom link that is on the screen, and it's also on our website. You can also attend through the phone. The phones are on the screen as well as the webinar ID. All committee members and members of the public must abide by the community agreements. If you don't have access to the community agreements, we have a link over there, and we also have them printed on our table. Before we continue with the meeting, we're going to have the land acknowledgement. As usually, we share the microphone for everyone to be able to provide to be able to join us with the land acknowledgement. I'm going to pass it on. Is that okay? Thank you.
While Richmond seeks to strengthen the economy, improve public health and the environment, particularly in the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhood, we do so with the awareness that we occupy unceded Huichin and Carquinaloni territory.
We acknowledge that land theft of indigenous homelands and the dismantling of indigenous sovereignty was done to advance colonization.
We acknowledge that capitalism and white supremacy are branches of colonization that have persisted throughout hundreds of years of oppression, are alive today, and contribute to keeping Black, Indigenous, and all people of color from thriving.
We further acknowledge that this country's political economy and social institutions were built on the forced labor of African people, on stolen land through violent, systematic abduction from their homelands and enslavement over hundreds of years.
Reconocemos además la explotación de las comunidades de personas inmigrantes y refugiadas, ya que regularmente se utilizan para formar formas modernas de la mano de obra barata y desechable en tierras robadas.
Thus, we acknowledge that we have been impacted and harmed by these histories and experiences imposed on our ancestors and communities. We further uplift the shared struggle among Black, Indigenous, and all people of color.
We also acknowledge that indigenous people continue to live here, steward the land, and resist settler colonialism.
Concluimos que la nueva reconocimiento de la tierra es una declaración y un proceso activo y en evaluación requiere que reconozcamos la injusticia histórica y nos invita a ser participantes activos en nuestra curación colectiva.
Thank you so much. This is an evolving land acknowledgement. If you have any comments or would like to add anything that has not been included in here, we always keep it open for participants to provide feedback and add anything that you want to add. For people who are joining us for the first time and people who are here continuously, this is Richmond Rising meeting, and the City of Richmond and 6 local organizations, together known as Richmond Rising, received $35 million to bring health, economic, and environmental benefits to the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado. And Richmond Rising is currently supported by the Strategic Growth Council Transformative Climate Communities Program. As you know, this is a collaborative stakeholder committee meeting, and this committee provides guidance and project implementation and holds us accountable in reaching our goals. It can make recommendations, provide input, and assist project leads in implementing project activities, and it does not have a final decision-making authority. However, project leads must consider recommendations from the committee and members of the public. Now I'm going to open the space for public comment, not on the agenda. This is a space for members of the public to provide public comment on items that are not included on the agenda. Para las personas que nos acompañan, este es el momento del comentario público para temas que no están en la agenda. Es un espacio para que ustedes puedan proveer comentarios públicos de lo que se requiera. If you have any public comment, please raise your hand. Si tienen un comentario público, por favor, levanten su mano. I don't see any in person, but I'm going to double check the online meeting. We do not have any online comments either, or public comments online. So I'm going to go to the next item, which is the review and approve of previous meeting minutes. Members received the minutes 10 days ago, and now we need to approve the previous meeting minutes. It's usually Mbesa. You're right. We do not have a quorum. We actually cannot approve them. But I thank you so much, Curtis, and thank you, Jem. It was a good practice. So we will send this item to the next meeting so we can approve it once we have quorum. Thanks for the reminder. So now we're going with the project status report, which is actually our only item on the agenda for tonight. So for each partner, we will share up-to-date financials and grant expenditures, as well as updates on the project that will be shared with the public and the committee. And if there's any questions, please wait till the end of the project status report, and we will open it for questions for everyone. So in relationship to the grantee, which is the City of Richmond, the work that we completed since last meeting is we updated the version of the e-bike lending library's budget. We received approval of the 1600 Nevin Plaza building rental for Richmond Rising office. For people who have not heard about it, we are going to have an office outside of the BART station. We had to go through a lot of processes to be able to rent it out and build all the infrastructure that is needed. Matias is responsible for that. You will be able to use this office for anything that you want. It's mostly for community engagement. So we will have space for you there for your meetings. And this is a public office, a public space. So we actually do engagement for projects. So youth fellows will have a space there too, as well as anyone who requested. We received also the work, well, we held the workshop for the facade improvement pilot program. We attended the local business visits for this program too, to talk to business owners in the project area. We also coordinated and hosted Grid Alternatives November No Coast Solar Sign-in Hybrid Workshop on the 12th of November. This was a very successful workshop. I think we got approximately 15 people who signed up for solar. So this was really good for Grid. I'm sorry that they're not here today to share the information. We're also completed and submitted the contract amendments and modifications number 3. For people who are not familiar with this, every year the state gives us the opportunity to amend or change things that are related either to budget or other information in our programs, and we just completed this for all the projects that we have registered on their TCC. We also submitted an invoice to the Metropolitan Transportation Commission grant for completion of the necessary deliverables. This was together with Trust for Public Land, and we coordinated with the employment and training team to clarify invoicing and progress reporting requirements. And we actually have a new member of this team that we will introduce to you at the end of the meeting. And we also hosted a social media training. Eduardo actually hosted that for the Youth Fellows, and I heard that it went really well. It was on the 19th of November. I think Gabby would share more about it in her time. We also attended the Q4 Richmond Park Equity Program collaborative partner meeting on the 20th of November. Total expenditure reported up to date, $413,000. Our remaining budget is $280,000. The planned work in the next 2 weeks is to receive and review invoice number 14 documents that we will be receiving from partners. In relationship to neighborhood complete streets, the project on Harbor Way, the work completed since last meeting. Do you need anything? No? Okay. The work completed since last meeting was continued collaboration with Metropolitan Transportation Commission to receive Regional Measure 3 funds. This is $10 million for the project that includes Richmond Wellness Trail and neighborhood complete streets. And we also got approval of the MTC checklist of the projects. We submitted the RM3 staff report to City Council and a request for legal opinion. And actually, this item was approved yesterday on the consent list. And we are now going to submit the resolution to the Metropolitan Transportation Commission so we can finalize the reception of the funds. That's $7.5 million for neighborhood complete streets and $2.5 million for Richmond Wellness Trail. Total expenditures reported up to date, $103,000. Our remaining budget, $5 million. And planned work in the next 2 weeks. It's finished the scope of and estimates of both projects and start the NEPA, National Environmental Policy Act work for both projects and follow up with MTC's approval of RM3 funds. Their committee is happening on December the 10th for anyone who wants to attend. And their full commission is happening on the 17th. So you can join this meetings online. And I'm going to pass the microphone to Terrence from Trust for Public Land.
For the Richmond Wellness Trail, the work completed since we last met, we're focused on doing the scope, grant, and budget coordination with city staff and consultants as a result of the additional RM3 funds and the DOT grant. The total expenditures reported to date are $418,000. And the remaining budget is $4.4 million. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to continue doing budget reallocations and coordinating and contracting work to secure the additional awarded federal grant funds, and just continued work to adjust the project scope, budget, and timeline for these additional monies.
And for e-bike lending library, work completed since last meeting, continued meeting with city council members to share our project and ask for ECIA funding support, joined the Youth Fellows for a community bike ride and supported their flag football activity. It was a lot of fun. Started recruiting volunteers to help with future outreach for the e-bike lending library, participated in MCE's 2025 Community Power Coalition Symposium, and continued outreach and fundraising efforts to close the project's budget deficit. Total expenditures reported to date, around $300,000. Remaining budget, $2.1 million. And planned work in the next 2 weeks. Continue pursuing funding options, meet with city council members, organize outreach event at Unity Park, and introduce community to future construction, plan and lead community bike rides, support youth fellow activities, and continue recruiting volunteers.
Thank you, Judah. I am going to share the updates from Resilient Homes. I'm actually going to let Matias do it since he's been in touch with Embesa because he's not here today.
All right. So one of the first updates is that the Grid Bay Area team was dissolved and reconstituted as part of the Grid NorCal team. Another update that Embesa hasn't gotten to share with us yet. But then last week, or was that not last week? Sorry, 2 weeks ago, the holiday timing. Grid held a solar workshop at the council chambers that Beatrice mentioned. It was about 15 signups for that. And then also continued weekly client review meetings. That's with anyone in the pipeline for receiving the solar. And then planning for the upcoming December 10th workshop, which is in this same room next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Total expenditures to date are $1,010,000, and remaining budget is $5,955,000. Planned work in the next 2 weeks is, like I mentioned, the solar workshop on December 10th, and not mentioned here is going over some of the invoicing with city staff, including myself, to hammer down some of the paperwork.
Thank you, Matias. I'm going to pass it on to Shinwe from Urban Tilth.
Good evening, everybody. Basins of Relations update. So work completed since last meeting. Installation of 3 free drip irrigation systems for project area homeowners. Total water savings is approximately 20,640 gallons. Incredible. Ongoing implementation of our Basins of Relations training program for project area residents as they begin careers in environmental stewardship and reconnect to the waters in our community. Recent sessions included a water conservation demonstration, a green stormwater infrastructure demonstration, native plant propagation and installation at local creek sites, and an opportunity to witness migrating coho salmon. Total expenditures reported to date, about 413,000. Remaining budget, around 1.1 million. Planned work in the next 2 weeks, completion of Basins of Relations training program and graduation of our 2025 apprentices. And also 3 drip irrigation system installations are planned with installation of native drought-tolerant plants.
Thank you, Jeanette. I'll pass it on again. This is the update from Groundwork Richmond from Bosque del Barrio. So I'm going to give it to you because Lorena's not here today unless she joined our meeting. She hasn't joined our meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and do the update. So work completed since last meeting. There were 12 residential tree planted, replaced 1 tree at Lucas Park, canvas project neighborhoods for potential sites, working with the city to streamline our adopted tree process, workforce program on pause until funding is secure. Total expenditure reported to date, $274,000. Remaining budget, $813,000. The planned work in the next 2 weeks is to coordinate work project for Martin Luther King's Day in January 26 and coordinating the native garden at the Grove on Richmond Greenway. For people who have not signed up for getting a residential tree, this is your opportunity. The link is on the website and on our Instagram if you want to get a tree planted.
Can I make a motion to switch the slides around so I can just do all of them in one row? Okay, we are at universally accessible community garden. Work completed since last meeting. Met with the project team to meet construction management consultant Ben Kelman. Reviewed consultant proposal and preliminary construction schedule. Total expenditures reported to date, about 116,000. Remaining budget, 838,000. Planned work in the next 2 weeks. finalize review of proposal and sign into contract with the construction manager consultant, provide feedback and finalize construction schedule, develop a payment schedule for internal admin, invoicing, and additional something that I can't read, funding. So they are on their way. Orchard for All, work completed since last meeting. Gave away 30 trees in our local farm stands and future events in the project area, which those happen at Lucas Park and Unity Park, both on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Service 13 trees, harvested 120.4 pounds for 1 pounds of fruit, serviced 2 homes in the project area. Total expenditures reported to date, $275,000. Remaining budget, $892,000. Planned work in the next 2 weeks. Prepare for winter apprenticeship with 4 apprentices. Publishing application by December 19th, 2026. Prepare for fruit tree giveaway happening March 7th, 2026. Publish fruit tree lovers newsletter number 8. Create a climate adapted zone 10A tree encyclopedia. Harvest 150 pounds of fruit. Service 10 trees and service 10 homes in the project area. And lastly, for Urban Health is VeggieRx. Work completed since last meeting. Hosted table at Lucas Park Picnic and Play event on November 8th. Hosted climate-friendly diet workshop at Achieve After School program that was here on November 18th. Gave 20 VeggieRx bags to, I don't know how to say this, Apostolic Temple of Truth Church on November 20th. That was for their Thanksgiving giveaway. Total expenditures reported to date, 1 million. Remaining budget, 2.2 million. Planned work in the next 2 weeks. Outreach to members of VeggieRx delivery waitlist to be added in 2026. Hosting a workshop at Shields Nursing Center on December 9th. And planning for early 2026 workshops. If y'all have ideas for the VeggieRx team of locations or collaborations you'd like to see in the community, please let us know. You can tell me. Our program manager, Bailey, is also here. You can also email veggierx@urbantilth.org.
Thank you, Shinue. We're going to continue with the e-bike share system for people who know about this program. We have Salma, who's our manager for the city of Richmond. The work completed since last meeting. We've provided maintenance to e-bikes and their stations, attended meeting for project coordination with different groups, and completed invoicing and progress reporting for current period. Total expenditures up to date, $526,000. Remaining budget, $472,000. Planned work in the next 2 weeks is continue coordination with the Right Today team regarding project metrics and ongoing funding requirements. And just for people who haven't signed up for the program, Salma can answer your questions and can help you with figuring out how to do that for you to be able to try the e-bike share system. We have 70 bikes in the project area and 8 bike hubs. I'm going to continue with the community engagement plan, and I'm going to pass the microphone to Gabby or, oh, okay, one second.
It's very small. Okay, bear with me. I have one too, which is really tiny on here too. Okay. Community engagement plan, work completed since the last meeting. Youth Fellows received a Train the Trainer workshop for bike riding lessons from Jason Serafino from My Bike Skills on Saturday, November 8th. Then they hosted the free bike riding lessons for all ages at Lucas Park for the family picnic day hosted by Urban Tilth and partners of Lucas Park Project. There were 11 young kids under the age of 10 that joined the bike riding lessons, and at least 7 of them were under the age of 4. Our youth fellow Leslie successfully taught one of the kids how to ride a bike by the end of the event. Youth Fellows hosted an Energizer station outside the Richmond BART station for the Richmond Bridge anniversary ride on Saturday, November 9th. Youth Fellows were able to share information about the Richmond Rising Youth Fellow program and Richmond Rising projects. Youth Fellow Monse assisted Grid Alternatives during one of their informational workshops to community members about the solar panel program on November 12th. Malia, the TCC community organizer, and Eduardo from the city of Richmond hosted a social media workshop for the youth fellows. The goal is to give the youth fellows more autonomy in terms of content they create to promote the youth fellow programs and Richmond Rising projects, and that was on November 19th. Just as a reminder, if any project leads want to collaborate with the Youth Fellow program on social media content to promote your Richmond Rising project, to connect with Gabby and Malia. As a reminder, Richmond Rising has its own Instagram page in case you want to share content about your projects. The Youth Fellows hosted a grateful for the bike ride. The bike ride began at Unity Park, then down Point Richmond and looped back. During the midway point of the bike ride, there was a flag football game. Judah was one of the team captains, and he did a really good job. The bike ride from beginning to end brought a sense of community and appreciation. If any project lead want to explore how we can integrate our bike rides and hikes with your outreach or engagement goals for your Richmond Rising project, connect with Gabby and Malia. Total expenditures report to date, 470,000. Remaining budget, 2.1 million. About plan work in the next 2 weeks. What did I say? Oh, my bad. I have a really long math class, my bad. Plan work the next 2 weeks, Saturday, December 13th. Saturday, December 10th at 10 a.m., the youth fellows are hosting a morning holiday stroll at the Richmond Marina Bay. And we encourage everyone to wear their Christmas and holiday sweaters. We'll have hot chocolate and snacks. We have flyers on the table back here. These little green flyers. We'll all be meeting at the Marina Bay Park. And if you have any questions, you can email Gabby. The email's on there. Please wear your holiday sweaters if you have one. Oh, there's also Spanish post or flyers. The youth fellows will be participating in 4 different tasks for December, and that is it.
Thanks, Monse. Displacement avoidance plans. The work completed since last meeting was we visited businesses, as we mentioned earlier, in the project area to receive feedback on the facade improvement program and to finalize the program parameters. The community outreach was received and incorporated to the guidelines, and they're now in the final stages of review, including our legal team. And the project will launch at the end of this month. So if you know any businesses who want to get up to $15,000 for improving their facades, this will be available at the end of this month. Total expenditures reported up to date, $159,000. Remaining budget, $522,000. And plan in the next 2 weeks, launching the facade beautification pilot program and continue community outreach to inform business owners about the program. I'm going to continue with the workforce development and economic opportunity plan. This is the work that has been done in between GRID and City of Richmond. We onboarded the interim workforce development manager, Seth Yoon, which is part of the GRID Alternatives team, and we coordinated with City of Richmond employment and training staff regarding required deliverables, work plan, and invoicing processes. And we actually have a new staff member, Elisandro Garcia. Elisandro, do you want to say hello? Elisandro is going to be working with us at the BART station office. Yeah, so he's going to be able to share all the employment and training programs that are available from the city on the ground for people to know. And so if you have questions from anyone who's looking for training and on employment, we will have a space at the office there. So please send them our way or give Elisandro's phone number. So I don't know if Elisandro has cards today, but if not, he'll be coming to our meetings. Plan work in the next 2 meetings. Continue coordination with the new workforce development program manager for invoicing, progress reporting, and other SGC related processes. And last but not least, I'm passing the microphone to UC Berkeley team. Thanks, Jason.
Okay, UC Berkeley, our team has been working to continue the annual evaluation report, which you will all get a copy of probably in January. We've completed mapping of project level progress and of overall project area progress. This includes data that each project has shared with us, so thank you for that. We've also submitted an updated evaluation plan to SGC in response to CARB requirement changes. Total expenditures to date, $549,000. Remaining budget, $520,000+. In the next 2 weeks, as I said, we're going to continue to work on the annual evaluation report. And that includes some case studies with youth and others, and we will submit our upcoming invoice. Yeah, I guess we have some very preliminary data just to show you all how much great work you're doing. This little maps here, it's at the end of the presentation slide deck. Far left is kind of where we started. Year one is in the middle, and year two we completed in July, right? July, yeah, end of July of this year. So we're really investing in built environment, social programs, and people, and some of that is reflected here. These are draft. You'll see more of this, and we're also making progress. Next slide. On our overall targets of what this overall project is aiming to accomplish in terms of solar installations, kilowatt hours of PV cells installed on homes, low-income homeowners or households rather receiving water efficiency installations, trees being planted, tree giveaways, veggie boxes being distributed per week, and we're yet to, but we anticipate progress on the protected bike lane. So just to point out, this is preliminary information, but just to give you all a shout out that amazing work is happening. You often don't go recognized, and we want in this annual report to recognize all the amazing work that you all do.
Thank you, Jason. I'm going to open up now the space for public comments or questions in relationship to what was presented just before. Okay, thanks, Jim.
So I have actually two questions. The first one related to e-bike sharing. I know that a while back there was some vandalism issues and things, and I'm just wondering, because we're seeing less of that with the EV car sharing, and I'm hoping that's happening with the e-bikes as well. So that's question one. And then on the, where is it? Oh, the displacement avoidance, the facade beautification. Does the business owner have to own the building that's going to have the facade improvement, or they just have to own the business that's inside the building? So those are my two questions.
Thank you, Jim. I'm going to pass it on to Salma for the first one.
So for the first question regarding the theft and vandalism that the bikes have been going through, we have seen a significant amount of reduction in the theft and vandalism since updating our operations, hiring on more staff, and yeah, just taking a closer look at, the bike. So it's really a big win for us. Please, if you have any questions regarding the bike program, ask me, and I'm more than happy to help you.
Thank you, Salma. In relationship to the facade beautification program, the answer is the businesses do not need to be owned by the building owner. They just need a signature to get the approval from the owner. So yeah, it can be either way. They can be or not owners of the space itself. Do we have any other questions, comments? Yes.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Nikola Karjaza, and I'm running for Congress in our district. And this district is going to go, because of Prop 50, from El Cerrito and Richmond all the way up to West Sacramento and Lodi. It's a very big district with a lot of amazing community effort going into it. And I came here today because I wanted to meet all of you, learn about your project initiatives, learn about your priorities, and use them as an opportunity to find more resources from the federal government to support what happens in the community. So if anybody wants to speak with me after or has any questions, I'm all here for you guys. So thank you so much for the work you do, because this can be replicated across the district. So thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Nico. Do we have any other questions, comments? I don't see any hands raised. I don't see any hands raised in here. And before I finish the meeting, I also want to open the space for general announcements. I know Gabby had one, so I'm going to pass the microphone on. But if you have any general announcements, please let us know.
I just have two. One, just a reminder that the flyers for our holiday stroll for next Saturday are on the table. It's all ages. It's just an easy walk on the Marina Bay Park. It's about a 45 to an hour walk. We're gonna have hot chocolate, some snacks. So definitely come, bring your family, wear your holiday sweaters. And then my second announcement is if you are a parent that has a student going to any of the schools in West Contra Costa County School District, there's going to be a strike happening tomorrow. It's beginning tomorrow. So I encourage to not send your child to school. And if you're able to, please go support the strike. I'm going to be picketing at Kennedy. I have a very, very good friend of mine who's a teacher at Kennedy. Prior to joining Richmond Rising, I was an educator myself for the West Contra Costa School District, and our teachers definitely do not get paid enough. So if you're able to, please go support. At least for Kennedy, I know that they're going to be picketing from 7 a.m. to noon. Most schools are doing that as well. So if you're able to, just pick a school. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Gabby. Also, in relationship to this, the city of Richmond is opening the community centers to support people who can take their kids to school. So our community centers are changing their schedule so that we can support the strike with opening space for kids. So if you want to check that out, it's on our website, the schedules and the locations of the community centers. I know all the community centers except this one are going to be open for children.
Ok. O voy a decirlo en español, ¿está bien? Ok. So, gracias a Beatriz por darme la oportunidad también de dar este anuncio. Estoy aquí representando a Lifelong Medical Care y quiero pedirles su apoyo a todos ustedes, ¿verdad? Sabemos que ha habido cambios para medical para las personas que están inscritas y las que no. Entonces estamos teniendo una línea de tiempo muy rápida hasta el 31 de diciembre, ¿verdad? Las personas deberíamos de estar enroladas en medical o renovar para no quedarnos sin cobertura, porque a partir del 1 de enero vienen cambios muy fuertes. Entonces la invitación es, traje algunos flyers para ustedes que son líderes y conocen más personas, puedan recordarles que Lifelong está aquí para ayudarles, no importa si no son nuestros clientes o nuestros pacientes, estamos con una apertura para poderlos ayudar en renovar o enrolarse. Y lo más importante es que somos un espacio seguro. Aquí está el número directo para que puedan asistir y lo traje en inglés y en español. Si alguno lo quiere escanear o quiere hacer una pregunta puntual también, les leería todo, pero mejor si gustan pueden pasar para uno de estos. Y esta es la información que quería mencionar, ¿verdad? Correr la voz, porque prácticamente tenemos 30 días, más o menos, para que todas las personas podamos tener cobertura y no corramos los riesgos, ¿verdad?, de quedarnos fuera a partir del 1 de enero. Gracias.
Gracias, Irma. Gracias, Irma. Are there any other general announcements or comments that you want to provide for the meeting? Last but not least, there's agenda requests for next meeting. We're meeting till January. Do you have any other requests for the agenda? Jason, are you planning to present anything related to evolution? Just asking because I know you're in the process of. Okay, you won't be ready till the week after. Okay, so for there's two items that we would like to add. Number one is you heard from the Bay Area Air Quality Management District last meeting. We are trying to prepare a collective application, and we will be inviting you to a meeting, both residents, partners, and city staff. So we can figure out what's on your mind, and everyone is welcome to propose what things you want to see in that application. We'll be in touch, but maybe we want to bring this item for our next January meeting. And second, I have been the chair of this committee for 2 years, which is what's supposed to happen for the first 2 years. But the space for being the chair is going to be open next year. So just want to put that out there. So if any of you wants to be sitting as a chair for this committee, anyone I believe based on our guidelines can be sitting down as a chair, and we will for sure will support you with the coordination that this meeting requires. So just leaving that in your for your knowledge, and we'll put it as an item for our next meeting. If there's no additional items on the agenda, being 6:51, our meeting is adjourned. And please don't leave. We have some bottles of non-alcoholic wine for the celebration, and we have a piñata for you. And please join us to share some time together as our first Christmas celebration. Thank you, everyone.